presentation on AI in education. Um, Main ideas are what role does AI have in education? How does AI help with education? How does AI hurt education? Are there any ethical concerns? And what are some possible future effects of it? And then reflect. All right, what role does AI have in education? Um, AI is, can do many things in education. Some main ones have to do with personalized learning, allowing for um, students' individual needs to be met through a AI robot, and tutoring systems which can adapt to the students who use them, and they have automatic grading feedback, which means that you can cram more material in them, um, and it saves teacher time too from having to grade so much. And it can be used for administration, so like computing teacher pay, or all that jazz. Um, the 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 teacher uses are can include support for instruction, such as like generating a visual for something, lesson planning. AI can help teachers plan lessons for the day, which can save teachers a lot of time. And AI driven learning, where AI applications can help students do math and stuff. How does AI help with education? Um, how does AI help with education, teaching? Um, this is a very interesting thing I read up on. Apparently, that like VR and AR stuff can make like simulated virtual field trips of sorts, which can make like some cool environments to do experiments in. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, Language learning apps, not like Duolingo, but like an actual committed app that excuse me, sorry. It can simulate conversational dialogue and stuff, which is really helpful for learning languages. And differentiated instruction, where tutors can support the weaknesses of the student, and don't need to have like redundant lessons for those who already know what the thing is. And that's pretty cool. There we go. How does AI help with education on the student end? Um, these are the ways I personally use AI. I like to do error checking, which you just like if I keep getting a math question wrong, for example, I'll just keep on I'll keep on trying, but like if I really can't figure it out, I'll just like snap a picture of it with an AI, and it'll tell me what I did wrong, and then I can use that to fix what I did wrong, and I can just do that for like well yeah I can fix what I did wrong for like the rest of the questions, not like cheat with the AI. Project completion. Um, AI can help students research for like a research paper. Um, it's very important that you read the paper first to make sure that the AI, not paper, the source first to make sure that the AI is like not off its rocker. Just see where it mentions that. But yeah, it's very helpful with that. It takes like these long, arduous tasks, which goes into the time-saving aspect, and it just not arduous. I'm saying words I don't know what I mean. It takes these long tasks and it just makes them nice and digestible. It's very nice. How does AI hurt education? On the teaching aspect, it can create some job stress. Um, with you know like like some teachers are afraid that AI might replace them, or that they aren't ready for AI to be implemented into their field yet. And that just creates stress for teachers. The increased workload of having to check a student's paper for AI written content, and having to learn AI prompts maybe for their job. Um, that's a burden to carry for teachers, and the threat to teacher roles where AI can take over tutoring, or providing wrong answers to questions, or answering questions in general. um, that 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 threatens the teacher-student relationship, which is important for teaching. Is there an ethical concern with AI? um, what to worry about with AI is um, oh, oops. Um, how does AI hurt education? Students. Um, the overuse of AI for students can lead to mental health troubles, leading to techno stress, which is a term, and that leads to poor mental health, which leads to stress, anxiety, and just reduced well-being in general, which is bad for learning. Some students just use AI for answers, and that creates over-reliance, and that leads to less critical thinking, which means shallow learning and important problem-solving skills. Um, is bad because the students don't really understand what the AI is doing to get its answers. Um, privacy and safety concerns. AI systems often contain personal information or behavioral data for students, which can be misused, and that creates more stress for people who think about that. Is there an ethical concern for AI? um, what we should worry about is the loss of autonomy for students, which is these predictive systems will tell people where they are performance wise, and students and teachers will just accept that, and it causes over reliance, and yeah, plagiarism, where AI can where AI just takes what it sees and just tries to replicate that from copyright sources, which is debatably not okay depending on who you ask. And surveillance. AI tools like facial recognition and I'm sorry. I hope the top of my head was not. Anyways, facial recognition and predictive analytics monitor students' behavior, and that blurs the line between safe safe monitoring, or just safe data gathering in general, and just intrusive spying. um, these are just some solutions I came up with, but the teachers can assign more homework in class. I mean, more classwork, not more homework, and that and the teachers can monitor how the students complete that homework, classwork, and they can see who uses AI at home and stuff, or just make sure that the students understand in general what they're teaching. Um, for copyright, a marker system would be cool, where like digital art creators or paper writers can just mark their stuff with the "you cannot use AI" mark, and then they just can't use the AI just can't use that as a model to make its stuff. And government regulation for spyware, well, yeah, the government regulation for AI stuff so that it can't be abused without repercussion. What are some future effects of AI? Some future effects from the academic side of, well, like just researchers in general, is they think that AI can help it can support accessibility, which means it can help students who don't understand the language as much as other people do, or just like help decipher what people with speech impediments are saying, if the speech impediment is that bad. Um, it can allow for more testing with that increased speed of feedback, which allows for instructors to know more, to see if their students know what they're doing, and they allow more personalized learning because AIs use behavioral data to see what student is doing and how they can improve. Personally, I think that AI's future effects on education, it will not make teachers obsolete, as the student-teacher relationship is very important, and it makes teaching, well, it makes learning like a lot easier for some students. Um, I think more importance will be placed on tests, where teachers might make tests worth way more way more than the homework would be, because um, it's like the because if you like rely on the homework, students could just be like taking a picture of it with AI and just doing it on with the AI. Whereas if the test scores are more important, the students will actually have an incentive to study and stuff. I also think that because of that, there will be more handwritten assignments from teachers, where the students will have to do all the writing by hand. That way, students will be less encouraged to use AI to write things, because personally, if I'm like writing something down and I have to keep on looking up and I'm writing down and looking, that takes way more time than just getting into a writer's flow and just you know. So yeah. Reflection. Oh, my page won't turn. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. How does this apply to us? Well, we are all currently students, and yeah, so AI in education is pretty important to us. Um, Education builds our future. Um, you know, if we're producing people who just rely on AI to do stuff, then I don't think that'd be great for our future. I don't think surgeons would be very reliable if that's the case. Yeah. And we are likely going to be the guinea pigs to any new AI teaching thing that anything wants to try on us. So, we gotta be ready for that, because, again, we are all currently students. And yeah, that's why all this is important. Here are my references. I thought it'd be really funny if all my images were generated by ChatGPT. I hope that doesn't mark me down. And this is where this video is going to be linked in slides. So we're gonna get to that right now.